Hello besties, it is time for one of my absolute favorite videos to film here on YouTube, which is the reveal of a new Cosmic Beauty palette. This is the Sun, and this is a beautiful like warm orange. As you can tell by my lips, my cheeks, my earrings, my dress, my entire existence. Love me some orange, love me some yellow. And I'm actually going to be doing two different looks with this palette. I think this is being released at the end of July. You can use my discount code Angelica with Cosmic Beauty and you'll always get a discount over at their website. I don't know exact pricing, and now I'm like, is it the 30th of July? You know what, I'll put all of that down below in the description box. The pricing, the details, the release date, all of that I'm gonna put down in the description box. I'll ask Faye and see what kind of details she has to give me, but this is beautiful. And when I open this palette, a bunch of you are gonna be like, wait a minute. Who are you? I have seen something similar. So I'm gonna open it and you let me know down in the comments before I show you if you can catch what it's similar to. So this is the Sun, it's part of their like little tarot collection, and this is what it looks like. It is a beautiful, warm, like it got some bright like oranges and yellows, it's got some pinks and purples. This is a really beautiful like sunset palette. You can definitely do a full purple look, a full orange. There is like a little pop of a like a duochrome, a green shade down here. There's also a pink to a blue down here. I definitely today I want to do something that is an orange crease, and then I want to do a bit of like the periwinkle on the lid. That is what I'm thinking, because I love a mix between light and dark, warm and cool. I love those kind of looks, so that's definitely what I'm gonna do for my first look. I am very excited to try that one out, and then we'll do a second one. I haven't fully decided what that's going to be, but now that you had some time to look at this one, what does this remind you of? And I think a bunch of you are probably going to think of different brands, and that's not what I mean at all. I actually mean the same brand, because when Cosmic Beauty got really popular online, it was with their palette Serenity, but Serenity was actually not the first like palette from the brand, but Serenity was the first palette that I reviewed on my channel. But their first palette was actually the Royal Rose palette, and this one is just like Serenity, opened like this instead, like this, but it is the size of these are the same. This palette is discontinued, and I think the Sun is a new and improved version of this palette, like a re-released like, because you see it here. They're a little bit similar, but I am so excited because clearly I love color stories like this, and this is what it looks like. You can tell there's definitely some differences. There are some like similarities. I do think that this one has a better color story than this one. I think this one is a little bit more well thought out, and it probably only also means like, you know, with a brand, you're supposed to be better and better and better. You're supposed to do an even better job with time, and I definitely think that this is a better and more improved version of this one, the Royal Rose, that is discontinued. I'm pretty sure it's not on the website anymore, and I am so excited for this one because they have just been killing it. I love Cosmic Beauty. It's one of my favorite indie brands, and I cannot wait to dive into this one. I think I'm gonna play with this one and this one and this one. I'm gonna do like a really orangey thingamabob. That's what I'm thinking. I think I'm actually gonna do one of those where I like build. I start with the lightest and I build and go to a darker. I don't always do that, but now that these tones go together, I think I'm gonna do that. And always Cosmic Beauty has like great mattes, so I'm expecting these to be amazing as well. So let me put my hair back. I washed out some of, because I had my new hair. I went platinum again. I had my, the last video I did, which was with Artitude Cosmetics new palette, check that one out as well. That one, I had my new hair for the first time, and I still had like a gray toner in. And you can see now that I washed some of the toner out, that it's just a platinum, a little bit less gray. But I got a lot of questions, both on Instagram, but also on YouTube, asking, what did you ask for? So I asked for platinum highlighters with a gray blonde toner. That's what I asked for, and I feel like that's what I got. Let's zoom in and let's do the first look. So I'm having my patio door open to let in a little bit of like, I don't know, let's go with the breeze. So I hope we are not hearing any outdoors noises. I was gonna say, let me know if you do, but I hope not. So I'm gonna use this one, this one, and this one. And I am just gonna do a really warm and yummy crease. I'm starting with the lightest color, which again, I don't always do. Ugh. And I mean, technically, if I don't like the blend, I can always blend it out with a yellow too, but I'm gonna see if I can avoid. Oh, that is I can see. I'm gonna see if I can avoid that and just do the oranges. Oh, baby. So I'm not packing this on because again, I am gonna be building colors on top. If I start with the darkest color or the color that I want to be like the show, I always pack on color. But if I'm starting with something as a transition shade, I don't pack on because baby, I'm gonna put something else on. So I can't be like packing because then I'm gonna totally saturate the lid and no other mattes are probably gonna wanna stick on the way that I want to. So instead I try to like do sheer layers and build. It's just different techniques basically. And also there are some shades that aren't always that good to build on. A lot of pastels just have a lot of white pigment because otherwise how they're gonna be so light. So it is really hard to make a pastel that you can build on properly because of course whatever you put on, first of all, they always have like a little bit of a drier texture because of the white pigment. I don't know, it's just been an experience of mine. And also because of the white pigment, whatever you put on top is of course going to shear out the pigment of that as well because you're going to mix that one with white pigment too. I sometimes see people doing tutorials, they start with the pastel and then they're so surprised at the color they put on top. They're like, oh, this one isn't as pigmented. And it's like, no, it's because you're mixing it with the white pigment. So keep that in mind when you're building looks as well. Build in the order that you're expecting the final result to be. If you want to make a look less pigmented, maybe a little bit more ethereal, lighter, sheer, definitely start with a pastel. Okay, I'm doing the darker orange now, which is Beacon. Oof. And I'm doing this on a slightly smaller brush. So I had an EO10, now I'm going in with EO6. You can see it's just denser, not as fluffy, not as tapered, because I want this to be a little bit more pigmented, but I'm not putting it on the lid because that's where I want to put the dark red. And I'm also putting this a little bit like further in than I usually do because we are gonna accent this with the light blue. I'm going in with a little bit of the lighter Leo and I'm gonna be buffing on the edge a bit. Again, I want to avoid the yellow if I can. That doesn't sound like something I would say, but bear with me. That is really cool. Okay, I'm gonna do the dark red Vitality, and I'm starting... Oh, you can see I put the exact same shades under my eyes as well. It was just with a pencil brush. But now I'm doing like a very slim brush, and I'm putting this Vitality, which is the dark red, just closest to the lash line. Look at how cool this color is. I love it. And to begin with, I'm gonna start with that color on the top lid too. I'm just gonna map up the shade a little bit, or like the shape that I want. So I'm putting it in this area. Like painting it on in a little bit, almost like a wedge, because this is like the shape that I'm looking for. And I'm just painting it on to start. Like the shape that I want, and then I'm switching to a smaller brush. This is an EO5. I'm taking more of the Vitality and I am gonna blend it and just add more out here. I mean, look at this. Look at how wonderful that is. Wow. Okay. Technically, we could deepen this up with even more, but I think I'm gonna leave it like this. Like, this would be so cool as well, just with this shade. It's called Positivity, like this base shade. That would be so cool as well. But again, I'm pretty sure we're gonna do Content, which is the like lavender periwinkle shade. Okay, so this is what this color looks like. And I'm just gonna put this with a flat brush. So I'm gonna be a little bit sharp in here next to the line that I did. And I'm probably gonna put some shimmers. Or am I? Oh my god, that is so gorgeous. Are you kidding me? I love Cosmic Beauty's mattes. They're always so nice. I mean... Even my nails are matching. This is just really, really gorgeous. I think this looks so cool. I'm thinking a little bit in the inner corner. Meeting up on their lower lash line. I mean, I think that looks so cool. Do I need, should I keep this and maybe do a little red in my inner corners? That would be so cool. So Cinch Beauty has this E12 brush. It's a bent eyeliner brush, but you can also use this for shadows. So let's go in with Vitality, which is the red, and just do a little bit of, maybe I'll need a red base first, because now that I'm putting the red on the blue, it's definitely gonna pull a little purple. But let me do this as a base first, just to like map it out, and then I'll put a little red on top. So MAC has this eyeliner. This is one of the Chroma ones, Chroma graphic pencils, and this is in basic red. I'm just gonna see if I can work with this one and just layer on top. So I used it in my waterline too, and now I'm just gonna do a little bit of the shadow and just set it. Oh, they're doing a leaf blower outdoors. Love that. Great. And I'm just cleaning up the edges with the periwinkle blue again. But I look like a superhero and I will take no further questions. Well, I don't know about you, but I think this first look turned out to be quite the banger. Very excited about this. I don't know what I'm doing for my second look. I did put on the Office Siren lashes by Cinch, and I'm not 100% sure what I want to do for my second look, but I love this one, and I love that I kept it all matte. I love all matte looks. I think they're so flattering and just smoothing, and this looks so cool. I look like I'm poisonous. I love it. I love like man repeller looks. I'm all about that life. So maybe something, I don't know. I haven't decided. Kind of want to play with the yellow. Definitely we need to do something with the purples. Not 100% sure. I will think about it. I'll definitely do something with shimmers, and you'll see the second look right now. Okay, time for a second look, and now I actually have swatched this palette. And I will say, one thing that did surprise me with this palette is that the shimmers are a little bit more textured and emollient, like creamy feeling than what I'm used to from the brand, and I will say that is usually not my favorite. I only did a matte look in the first look, so I didn't realize any of this. My favorite shimmer in this palette is actually this one here, the dark purple. It is stunning, and it does not feel like that textured, more creamy one. I think that this one, and probably, I don't remember, one of these two felt very creamy. Again, not my favorite, not the way I like to do my shimmers, simply because they do tend to crease. If you have hooded eyes, if you have aging eyes, if you have folds on your eyes, those shadows do tend to crease. Of course, before I give my final verdict on the palette, I'm gonna have to try one of those out. So what I'm thinking, I'm gonna do this one and maybe one of these two, because I think both of these were look. I need to feel if they were both creamy. I have a sneaking suspicion they were both, and I'll use that one and we'll see if it like creases on me. I won't do a wear test in this video, but of course I'll wear it and I'll put it in the pinned comment letting you know if it creased or not. So I'm gonna do purple, blue, and I'm gonna do this like peach, and then I'm gonna carry a little bit more of the peach in the inner. So I'm gonna do purple, blue, peach today, wearing some of these shimmers. I know I did a lot of talking in the beginning, but it's simply because I want to explain that I did feel some differences when I started swatching this palette. And I know that those like really creamy textured shadows, they swatch incredibly. And I know a lot of like swatch accounts or creators that don't have hooded eyes, or that like, you know, are in their 20s, love those kind of shadows because they look very intense on the eyes. But as soon as you start getting some texture on your eyelids, as soon as you start getting a hood or like folds or different kind of wrinkles, I'm 42, they do tend to not look as flattering. They do tend to look textured on the lids, and they tend to crease. So I want to see if these are the same, because oh my god, this shadow has a lot of fallout in the pan. I always felt like one of the things that I always really loved with this brand is that they were very consistent in having different formulas of shimmers in their palettes, but I never had a problem with them creasing on me, and I worry that they may have fallen into the hype of those special shadows, just because those palettes do tend to get really good reviews from beauty creators, except if they're a little bit older and have hooded eyes, because again, you won't experience the texture or the creasing if you don't have those kind of eyelids. I always see like younger creators saying like, oh my god, I want more, I'm gonna use Opportunity, which is the peach. I want more special shades in a palette. And then I see older creators saying, where are the traditional shimmers? And I think it's just a rite of passage. You get to an age where you're like, wow, this is not flattering on my eye shape whatsoever. And I think, because I was the same, and I think it's just a rite of passage for everyone. So I'm putting the peach this far in, and I'm blending out the purple with a little bit of peach. I'm gonna reapply some of the purple. The mattes perform beautifully on the eyes. That's stunning. I'm gonna add a little bit more of the peach just on the lid, because I don't know if these shimmers are gonna show through or not. So I'm just putting some of the peach on the lid too, just a little haphazardly. And then I'm using Flourishing, which is the lighter peach. You can see here, it's like a lighter peach. And I'm gonna put that in the inner corner. And I'm gonna put it in the inner part and just brush it up towards the brow. I'm taking it a little bit on the lower lash line, but we're gonna do the lower lash line the same colors as up here. But I'm just waiting because we're gonna put on that blue as well. So with a smaller brush, this is a Cinch E05, I'm gonna do Optimism, which is the dark blue, and I'm just gonna do a little bit on the outer half of the lid and in the outer corner, just to bring in a little bit of the blue, not more than this. And then I'm just buffing this out with a little bit of the brush that had the purple on it. And now we're getting into doing the same on the lower lash line. I'm gonna start with the purple on like the outer half of the under eye, and then blending it out with the darker peach, just like we did up there, and just meeting up a little bit here with the darker peach, basically doing the exact same thing as we did on the upper lid. And now as the last step, I'm doing the blue on the lower lash line too, just making sure it's connected to the upper lid so that it like looks good and looks cohesive. So this is the look of all the mattes. I think it looks, I mean, that looks incredible. That looks so good. So I want to do the dark purple now. It is called Confidence, and which is hopefully how I will feel after what is that? What's the lisp? After I am done with this look. So I'm gonna spritz it because I do have mattes on, and I'm gonna put that out here to meet with the dark shades. And when I swatched this, I was like, ooh, that is definitely my favorite shimmer in the palette, which usually is not a dark shade. But with this one, I just really liked how it looked. It's just super beautiful. And I'm just gonna blend this with a little bit of the dark shades again, just to make sure that we have it blended and it's not looking choppy. I don't like the look of shimmers going all the way out to my outer corner. I don't personally think that that looks, it's not how I want my eye look to look, basically. Let me do a little bit of the purple here as well. And we're on to the second shimmer, which again, I'm not 100% sure. Let me actually, so I'm thinking, I know this one was very flaky and very, very creamy. And I want to see, yeah, they're both not as much as the other one. So I think we're going to do this one, which is the one that has like a more peachy pink. And you can tell it's going to look really good. I don't know if you can see. You can see there is a multichrome aspect to it. Oh, there you can see. But there is a little green going to gold, going to pink. Everybody asks, why is there always green in multichromes? Multichromes is not like, you can't just decide how you want the light to bend. Physics. Light bends the way that it bends. Think about the rainbow. The multichromes are gonna have pigments that bend the light the way that rainbows appear. So green's just gonna be there. We can't just go around physics and be like, I want something else. So think of multichrome pigments as having a rainbow in your shadows. They're gonna appear the way that the rainbow appears, in that order, with those colors. Depending on how the pigment is, it's gonna have the full spectrum or parts of it. And this one have parts of it. It has a pink going to a yellow going to a green. Again, it is just the way that it is. But I'm gonna wash these off, and I'm gonna use this one, which is called Abundance. Oh yeah, this is definitely a bit flaky. I think you can see here. So I'm gonna spritz this one, because again, I don't know how this is gonna react on the eyes, and I want to make sure that I'm giving it the best ability possible. And I am going to be using this one up into my crease, which is a way that I love to use my shimmers, and I always do. So this is not me forcing the shadow to behave in a way that I don't usually wear my shimmers. This is a pretty common look for me, actually, to do my look like this. So I'm going to do it like that. Let me reapply a little bit more of the light peach Flourishing. And this is basically gonna be the finished look. I'm gonna put something dark in my waterline. Do I have something that's like a dark purple? Things are falling apart. I'll see what I have, but I'm gonna put something dark in my waterline. I'm gonna put on the Office Siren false lashes from Singe, my own brand, and that's gonna be the finished look. I do really like how this looks. It looks incredible. I just really hope it won't crease on me. I actually waited like half an hour to see if this would like crease within, because some of these like very emollient shades will literally crease on me within like 20-30 minutes. So this one so far has not done that. So at least that's good to know. No, I don't see any creasing like that. So right now it's holding true. I will put, like I said, a pinned comment, and if I forget, like, let me know. Tell me to put the pinned comment in whether or not this lasts all day, because it is only around just after 11 right now, in like before lunch. So it is, what is that, 11 a.m.? I don't know, AM, PM. Listen, can we all just get on like the 24-hour thing? It's just so much easier to deal with. But it is 11 right now, and I will be keeping this on for the entire day. So I will be able to wear this for probably 12 hours today. So I can put in the pinned comment whether or not this creased on me. Overall, this color story is so me. I love a warm color story. I love oranges and reds and yellows. I love that our pinks and peaches and a blue and a purple in here as well. I feel like the variation in here is beautiful. There are some pastels so that I can do a matte inner corner or blend out the edges. I love that. There's also a little pop of this like green warm duochrome in here, so you can make a really beautiful, this could be a very like, you know, transition, going to bright colors, going into more fall colors as well, because you have this little corner here. So overall, I'm really enjoying this color story. It is a beautiful color story. I just am not 100% sure that I am agreeing on the creative decision of changing the formula of some of the shimmers, but I will let you know about that once I've worn this a little bit more. But personally, I prefer shimmers that are more finely milled and have smaller specks in them, because I do think that those are more flattering on the eyes, even though they don't swatch as impressively. But for me, I am team wearing your makeup over team swatching your makeup, but that is a personal preference. I know there are probably people who are going to swatch this and think that this is an even better shimmer formula, so this is just a matter of preference, quite honestly. Like I said, I will put the release date and the release details down below. Don't forget to use a code when you are checking out with Cosmic Beauty. You don't have to use my code if you don't want to, but if you want to, my code is also down below. It is per usual, Angelica. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you soon again in a new video.